Okay, so our school is called Utopia Learning and it's situated on a village here. In my village, it's called Cabanillas del Campo and it has around 8,000 people living in here. Also, our school is a democratic and participative school that contributes to develop the democracy and the society participation. Our school is public and is also in contact with the town hall, the library, and it also has the technology to make the pupils owners of their learning. Using different programs to put in contact with other schools so we can compare where the schools are developing and we can take their ideas and use them. So we know that actually not much money is invested on the education. Instead, they use the money for other things. Those things are really not as important as the future of the world. Educative spend was about 53,000 millions of euros and now is in 44,000 millions of euros. Considering that the number of pupils has risen in 7.7%, it's something logical and we are joining the tail of Europe in the educative stage. Funds for teacher training have been cut almost by the half, and while many international reports have pointed to the teacher to be key for the learning of the children and the educational success for the students. Talking about the structuration in our school, we want to change the individualist school and competitive school where the interaction between pupils is almost negative to a cooperative structure for children with different capacities, motivation and mindsets. So as Piaget says, cooperation between kids is as important as the intervention of the adults to favor the exchange of ideas and discussion, critical and mind reflection. We understand as learning structure the whole elements interrelated that happen in the class in the learning process. So mutual help and not establishing like a rivalry between them will make the group feel as a whole. So talking about an inclusive school, the inclusive school is the process by which is offered to every kid with no distinction of capacity, race or any other difference the opportunity to continue being member of the class, to learn from their parents, partners and with them inside the class.
It's not a lie that education has been reinvented since ICTs has been introduced in classrooms. The use of these ICTs has been grown thanks to new technologies like tablets, smartphones, laptops, and now children have all these kind of device at their hands. The most frequent worry about from parents is safety. Internet can be a vast source of information, but also can be dangerous if it is used in the wrong way. For this, schools must focus on the safety of the children who are starting in the world of internet. Unfortunately, teachers nowadays have poor information of ICT education, and that's something that must be solved. I want to talk about the self-review framework, something that my partner has mentioned earlier. The self-review framework informs and compares the developmental against other schools. We have found an app that is called Bullying No More. It's a free app for Android and iOS that, thanks to a mini game included in the app, shows how to work against bullying and how to act. Also, it has a button that can be used by the student to send a mail to the teachers to warn that he or she is being bullied. Parents will also know if their children are being bullied or not. This app also has news and advices from psychologists and specialists. We will also talk about some apps to help children with mental disorders that can interfere in their education, such as dyslexia, autism or ADHD. First, we have the called Project Azar. This project is a recompilation of 10 apps that can be used in a computer or a mobile phone to help children with autism or other mental disorders. We also have dyslexia, again focused in children that have dyslexia. It's a fun and easy way to help them overcome their problem. The challenges of this game are real cases of children that have this problem. Last one we have is called Aula PT. This is a website where you can find a lot of content designed to help children with special education needs. It has from pre-primary education to secondary education.
So, you know, because our village is here next to Madrid, where the people work, and it's a very high moving center with many industries and that, because Cabanillas is so close, many people is coming here to live, like people from Latin America, people from England, people from Germany, people from Morocco. Our school need to have an inclusive school program because it's what they are asking for. So raising the participation and lowering the exclusion is the key in this aspect. Also, we wanna say that participation with pupils, family and teacher, creating that triangle, it's really important for the trust of the kids. So the diversity and individual differences are something valuable because better opportunities are given for the learning. They are learning from each other, and because each other is different, they start thinking critically. So the assistant plant is the plant that we have selected for using the inclusive education, and it's about primary school guys are selected to be helpers in the task of the coexistence of the kids during the break, because many cases of bullying happen during the break, and it's when the teachers don't notice because it's like they are in their environment. So it's like kind of a spy who look for the good behavior of the kids. So when we talk about the advantages that inclusive school has, we can find one like that favors the positive relation between the kids, because they are always in constant contact and talking and, you know, having relation. Also positive attitudes are extended to researchers and the whole scholar institution. If the class go well, the good environment it's like transmitted to teacher, to parents, and it's like everybody is happy. So in order to favor the acceptance and difference and respect him, the productivity has to be raised and the learning of all the children. The schools need to be prepared for cooperation and not for competition.
I'm going to talk about bullying. Bullying is a huge problem that is in majority of the schools around the world. But what is bullying? Bullying is the constant physical and psychological harassment that a student suffers from others. Knowing this definition is clear that bullying is something that we can't ignore, but nowadays it's still being a very big problem in schools. Suffering bullying can mark a student for all his life. Some schools are now trying to face this problem by concerning not only students but also their families. Education must be for all, with no exceptions, and we cannot stay here without doing nothing. Schools have been facing this problem during a lot of time. In 2016, in Spain, the government introduced a new subject called citizenship education, which tried to teach values to the students. Sometimes we saw that the values that the school is trying to teach to the students often enter in conflict with the ones that family of the student is trying to teach him or her. We have some data collected by El País, a Spanish journal, that collects data from all autonomies in Spain. It also displays a division by gender, age, and the reasons why they are being bullied or cyberbullied. In Spain, around 9.3% of students suffer some kind of bullying, and 10.6% of these are girls.
For example, the self-frame review of different people to
La ropita.
Education must be for all, and bullying is corta.
So when the students enter the school, they pass by a painted wall, and on the left they can find the secretary, and on the right they have the teacher's office. And it's a really huge hallway, and it represents the welcoming atmosphere. The building is built in a form of an U, so that the classes are connected more or less, and each classroom has its own door outside, so they can go from class 5 or from grade 5 to 1 and vice versa. And there's a constant movement in the breaks, so they're not separated by ciclo. Every classroom has technical devices which are the same, and the tables are constructed out of wood, so that it's a natural climate, and every room consists of a certain room constellation, which means the space provides perfect learning environments, and the furniture is configured in a way to support our types of teaching, which means project-based learning and interdisciplinary methods. Students can move from one classroom to the other one, and every cycle is connected with the next one. So we've got cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. In total, it's 6 classrooms, but they're not separated from each other by floors or by stairs because it's in a U form. Every room consists of a certain table constellation, and they've got an order which establishes an open atmosphere. The space reflects the students' outcome and their results in their academic studies. The furniture is configured in a way to support our types of teaching and learning, which are project-based learning and interdisciplinary methods. Additionally to the normal classrooms, we've got studios, for example, for music, for arts, for science and technology, and every studio is for a certain subject. For example, one for plastica and for arts, and there they can also offer activities and craft workshops. Or if, for example, in English classes you need the studio, you can do printing works and etc. In the music studio, we provide sufficient instruments for everyone, and we also have a school chorus and an orchestra where every student can develop his talents. Next to the main building, there is a green area for gardening and a vegetable patch, so the teachers can show certain contents. For example, when they're teaching about animals, they can find insects in the earth, in the ground. When they're teaching about nutrition and balanced diet, they can plant salads, tomatoes, and in that way each group, each student can watch the process and can try the result in the end. So it's learning by doing, and it's putting the theory into practice. The place is provided for classes like Ciencias Naturales, when the children are learning about flora and fauna, so that they can work and explore nature on their own by using as many senses as possible. By observing, touching, and smelling, the children are so much more in contact with their environment, and they can develop the theoretical competences in real life. We've got a gym next to the schoolyard where the physical education takes place, and the students also can use the gym during the breaks to relax, to calm down, to get their energy away, to do physical activities. And in the end of the school year or when there's official occasions, there the gym is the place where the reunions take place, where the meetings for the parents take place. And that's it. We also have got a school canteen because in the lunch break the students need to eat, obviously, and if they can't go back home to their parents' house, they will stay at school. And we've got a special table constellation there as well, which differs from the classrooms. In the breaks, the students can go outside and play at the green schoolyard, or they can do some games and play football and run all together. We also got a playground with swings and slides for the younger ones who need more creative games. And we also provide a place where the students can find the outdoor equipment and items that they will use. And they learn how to put it back as they find it. That's one of our values as well, so that they can work together. Okay. Our school principles are freedom, fun, power, and the feeling of belonging, or belonging together. Therefore, we provide support services not only for the students concerning peer teaching and peer tutoring, but also the parents are included in our school system. We have certain we show the students strategies, how to learn on their own, and we've got a high focus on technology integration using TIC, and our project-based and interdisciplinary learning is another method. Our values in the context of emotional environments are respect, caring, acceptance, trust, high expectations, and belief in others. And they should have the feeling of joy and fun at school. Concerning the physical learning environment, we know that it matters and it has a high influence and a high impact on the students' achievements at school and how they feel in the environment with their friends. And it supports the learning process by creating an academic environment. The subjects, language and mathematics, are 4 hours per week. Then we've got English, which is 3 hours per week. We've got the side subjects like physical education, music, arts and plastics, which is whole 2 hours a week. We've also got social sciences and natural sciences apart from the third grade, which will be 6 hours in total. And we've got an extra language where they can select if they want to do French or German, and that would be 2 hours a week. 1 hour means 45 minutes, and our timetable is structured into 5 hours a day, with a 15 minutes break in the morning and 30 minutes at lunch. Our leadership team consists of the secretaries, the principal, and the teachers, and it's characterized by certain mental strength like persistency and being able to manage impulsivity, or reflecting on their own thinking and on their acting, how they teach, so that they can learn and constantly be in the process of improving. Leadership for us means being able to think flexibly, to create innovative ideas, and to try to pursue them and to make them real. It means being excited about your job and being fulfilled by what you do in class. It means to be able to act as a mediator sometimes if it's necessary, and to be filled with curiosity, to learn about new things every day, every week, and every month, all the year long. and to be a good communicator. It also means to be able to manage stress and pressure in a healthy way, or to promote a climate of respect in the classroom. That's what's part of our leadership team, and every member, be it the principal, the teacher, or the secretaries, reflect our idea.